Bryan and Keogh hanging out with you on 540 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com. It is Boucher Automotive NFL Draft Week on 540 ESPN. The draft now less than 3 days away. It'll be Thursday night. We will have live and local coverage on 540 ESPN. The Packers hold the 29th overall pick on Thursday night. And Keogh and I just want to talk about some of their options and what position we think is most important for them to address with that 29th overall pick in the draft. Keogh, there are a lot of holes on this team. Where do you think they should go at 29 overall? Should they go cornerback, running back, offensive guard, pass rush? Should they try and trade out? They should have a lot of options when 29 comes around, and they are on the clock in Philadelphia on Thursday.
Well, Bryan, I definitely think, this is my personal opinion, I definitely think the Packers should probably tackle something in the cornerback position, or at least something in the secondary. Because let me tell you, when I saw their NFC Championship game against the Atlanta Falcons, and when I saw like Julio Jones and the rest of the Falcons receiving corps just smoking their secondary, well, granted, a lot of their secondary was hurt, but it's just like it was kind of really hard to watch seeing just the Falcons just smoke the Packers secondary. It was really painful to see.
It was difficult to see how they got torched in that NFC Championship game, and it makes that cornerback position look like a huge void on this team. But you mentioned it right there. They did have a lot of injuries at that point in the season, and I think the mindset of Ted Thompson going into this pick might be, hey, let's just bank on the young guys, Demarius Randall and Quentin Rollins, to possibly take a step this year. Now, they took a step back from their rookie season to year two, but maybe Ted Thompson just, banks on the guys that he has, even though they lost Sam Shields, which is a crushing blow, not just to the Packers, but to Sam suffering that kind of injury with the concussion. But I think Ted Thompson's mindset might be just let the guys develop. That's been their kind of MO since Ted Thompson took over in the mid-2000s, draft and develop. I think that they might go pass rush here. And the one guy on the pass rushing side that a lot of people want them to take is the local kid, TJ Watt. What have you seen out of TJ Watt? And do you think the pressure of being a local kid playing for your hometown team would have an effect on him if he was indeed the pick at 29?
Well, I would definitely say, yeah, it will be a lot of pressure on him. And plus, I've heard a lot of mock drafts and a lot of people looking at his MO and saying that he's pretty much very similar to Clay Matthews.
Yeah.
Some even say he's like a Clay Matthews clone. And I think, well, if they do draft him, I think it could be a good thing that if he gets picked by them, because the added pressure might be a lot, but he could learn from some of the Packers pass rushers, including Clay Matthews. But something tells me I don't know if they're really going to take TJ Watt. A lot of people wonder if they could take somebody like Jabril Peppers from Michigan,
sure.
or because, I would love to see TJ Watt get drafted by the Packers, but I just don't see it happening.
It almost seems more like a hometown bias than anything else in a lot of these mock drafts. Bryan and Keogh with you on 540 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com, talking draft. You hear this concept all the time, Keogh, about the Packers wasting Aaron Rodgers' prime by not going after it and sticking to that draft and develop mentality that they really have stuck to over the past decade or so. Do you really think that they're wasting Aaron Rodgers' prime years, or do you think they're doing all that they can to ensure that they're competing every year for a championship?
Well, I would definitely say it was more like the latter. While from a fan's perspective, you can easily say that they're just wasting away his prime, and seeing obviously quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger are still performing at an elite level, whereas Aaron Rodgers literally has to will this Packers team from a slump to an NFC Championship berth. It's just it kind of feels like they are wasting it away. But I'm not going that route. I'm just saying they're just mainly focusing on developing their younger players, so that way they can help Aaron in the long run. But fans, from a fan's perspective, they're like, come on, it just seems like a century ago since Super Bowl 45, right, and we just want to get back there. Just literally, we feel like we should be there every year.
Yep.
But I think
it's hard, man. It's hard to win a Super Bowl in the NFL.
It is hard.
And I think, the mentality of Packers fans is you got to get back there. Aaron can't just have one Super Bowl appearance under his belt. And I think that's the reason you hear a lot of clamoring for, hey, you need to draft an impact guy. You need to make splashy free agent moves. You can't keep wasting Aaron Rodgers' prime because the window is closing. Maybe one of these players that they select on Thursday night at the NFL draft will be the difference to get them over the hump into another Super Bowl.
I certainly hope so. But, yeah, it was just like, after seeing – I honestly do hope that Aaron Rodgers does play in another Super Bowl someday because just look at his – Brett Favre, he's only played in 2 Super Bowls, Super Bowl 31 and Super Bowl 32. And hopefully – and there have been several years where Aaron Rodgers came so close to making it back, whether it was just this past year with the Falcons or against the Seahawks.
Seattle, yep.
That one was painful. that hurt more than...
You're right. He has gotten close, and it makes fans talk about it this time of year when there can be an influx of talent like there will be Thursday night at the NFL Draft. Call us at 800-990-3776. Tweet at us at ESPN Milwaukee. We will get to some of your responses coming up. It's Bryan and Kia with you on 540 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.